as we look at the Sphinx today, that's hiding things, this is what the ancient Egyptian in the late period thought the same. Then they came and they began to dig to find out what's hidden under the Sphinx.
For 4,500 years, the Great Sphinx has watched the sunrise in silence. It has seen empires rise and fall, its face scarred by time, its body half buried in sand. But beneath this ancient guardian lies something Egypt has never allowed the world to see. Hidden chambers, sealed tunnels, a truth whispered through centuries and denied by every official record. Now, the man who spent his entire life protecting that secret is ready to speak before he dies. For 4,500 years, the Great Sphinx has stood motionless under Egypt's desert sun, a creature of stone and silence, watching civilizations crumble at its feet. It is half lion, half man, and entirely misunderstood. Carved from a single ridge of limestone, its eyes have seen the rise of pharaohs, the march of conquerors, and the birth of every empire that followed. But the Sphinx's story was never complete. Legends speak of doors beneath its paws, chambers untouched since the dawn of history. For centuries, explorers tried to find them. Most failed. Others were stopped. And the truth, buried deeper than any tomb, remained trapped beneath layers of sand, waiting for the man who swore to protect it to finally break his silence. His name is Dr. Zahi Hawass, a man as iconic as the monuments he protects. For half a century, he has been the face of Egyptian archaeology, the voice that spoke for the pharaohs, and the gatekeeper who decided what the world could and could not see. Wearing his trademark fedora and fire in his voice, Hawass dismissed myths, challenged foreign explorers, and shielded Egypt's mysteries from what he called outsiders chasing glory. To him, the Sphinx was sacred, not just a statue, but a symbol of national pride. And so, when whispers began of secret tunnels and hidden halls beneath its paws, he called them nonsense. But the deeper he dug, the more the sand began to whisper back, whispering of something hollow, something real.
For decades, Hawass stood firm against every rumor. He called talk of hidden chambers a fantasy, stories invented by dreamers and foreign mystics. But in the early 1990s, science began to challenge his certainty. A Japanese team from Waseda University brought ground-penetrating radar to Giza, hoping to map the bedrock beneath the Sphinx. What they found stunned even the skeptics. Rectangular cavities beneath the northern paw, geometric and deliberate. Not random erosion, not nature, man-made. The data was quiet, but undeniable. Still, Hawass told the press there was nothing to see. Yet privately, he ordered more scans. Something inside him had shifted. The guardian who spent his life protecting Egypt's secrets now wanted to uncover one of his own. And that secret was waiting in the dark beneath a lion's feet. In 1997, whispers spread across Giza. A quiet excavation had begun near the Sphinx, one not meant for cameras or headlines. Authorized by Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, the mission was small, secret, and carefully chosen. Using advanced sensors, they scanned deep beneath the surface, searching for any sign of hollow space. And then, the signal came. At roughly 25 feet below the Sphinx's northern paw, instruments detected open air, a void, rectangular and precise. It wasn't natural, it was carved. But before the world could know, the project was shut down. Permits revoked, shafts refilled, records sealed. The truth had been touched, and then buried again. And for the first time, Zahi Hawass found himself standing at a crossroads between the scientist who sought truth and the guardian who must protect it.
Decades passed. The world moved on. But the Sphinx did not. Then, in 2023, technology caught up with legend. AI-assisted tomography, the same imaging used in medical scans, was turned toward the ancient guardian. For the first time, machines could see through the limestone, reading density shifts hidden for millennia. And there it was again, a massive chamber, roughly 9 by 12 meters, directly beneath the Sphinx's northern paw. Sharp corners, straight edges, not a cave, a room. Other sensors revealed connecting shafts, as if part of a larger system. The data matched everything Hawass had spent a lifetime denying. And when the results were leaked online, the story exploded. The man who once silenced explorers could no longer silence the evidence. Something was there, and the world demanded to know what it was. The Egyptian government moved quickly. Publicly, they claimed the scans were misinterpreted. Privately, they locked down the site. No new permits, no foreign teams, no cameras. Tourism, they said, was too vital to risk. The Sphinx was fragile. The economy depended on its legend, not its truth. Behind closed doors, Hawass understood what that meant. If the chamber contained nothing, Egypt's mystique could crumble. But if it contained something older than the pharaohs, history itself would have to be rewritten. And that was a risk no official wanted to take. For the first time in his life, Hawass was told to stop digging. But silence, he would soon learn, can be heavier than stone. Zahi Hawass had spent his life silencing others. Now he could no longer silence himself. Alone in his Cairo office, surrounded by relics and memories, he stared at the data printouts, images of hollow space beneath the Sphinx. He had called it myth. He had mocked those who believed, but the evidence was staring back like an accusation from the past. Friends said he became quieter, more distant, more reflective. He spoke less of discovery and more of legacy. Maybe, he told a colleague, in protecting Egypt from lies, I also buried its truth. The confession had begun, quietly, like a whisper through the sand, and the guardian of secrets was about to become the man who revealed them. In 2024, after years of silence, Zahi Hawass finally spoke. During a cultural interview in Cairo, he said the words that shook the archaeological world. We found something beneath the Sphinx. The surveys are real. But Egypt is not ready for what follows if we reveal everything we know. It wasn't a theory anymore. It was confirmation. The chamber existed. The scans were true. He didn't release photos. He didn't show documents. But the admission alone was enough. For the first time, the guardian of Egypt's mysteries had confessed there was more beneath the Sphinx than history allowed. And with that, the silence of decades began to crumble. The man who once denied the whispers had become their source, and the question the world had buried for centuries finally resurfaced. What lies beneath?
When Hawass's words reached the public, the reaction was instant. News networks called it the confession of the century. Social media erupted with theories, from a lost civilization to the fabled Hall of Records said to hold the wisdom of Atlantis. Archaeologists demanded proof. Governments demanded silence. AI-generated 3D models of the chamber flooded the internet, showing walls, corridors, even what some claimed were stone doors. Some experts warned the structure could collapse if opened. Others argued it must be explored, no matter the risk. In the chaos, Egypt stayed quiet. No permits, no updates, no answers. And Hawass, now nearing 80, could only say one thing to those who asked what was inside. If you saw what I saw, you'd understand why we sealed it again. The desert remains silent. Tourists still gather before the Sphinx, cameras in hand, unaware that beneath their feet lies a secret, untouched for thousands of years. The wind erases footprints, but not memory. And somewhere beneath that ancient lion's paw, a hollow chamber still waits, patient, sealed, watching. Zahi Hawass no longer speaks of it. He has said what he needed to say. Perhaps that was his way of unburdening a truth too heavy to carry any longer. The Sphinx still faces east, waiting for the sunrise, as if it knows one day the light will reach its heart. When that day comes, the world will finally learn what sleeps beneath Egypt's most silent guardian. Until then, the stone keeps its secret.